Hi everyone, and welcome back to RETROTHON 2020. My name is Amber Cyprin. I am joined by my my wonderful co-commentator who always likes to interrupt me.
Yeah.
And
hopefully won't be doing that too much during this race. But yo, what's up? I'm TGH.
And we're here to commentate for this run, or for this race rather, between three wonderful runners of Sonic 3D Blast. I actually ran the best ending category for RETROTHON 2019, so I'm very glad to be back to commentate the Beat the Game race between some very awesome runners like Argick, kingrhodesTn, and d4gr0n. Incredible runners. Unfortunately, it is not all three versions of Sonic 3D Blast, because that would be hilarious.
That would also be not fair either.
Yeah, no.
Not quite fair, especially with Saturn.
Poor Saturn.
Load times, yeah.
All right, but we're gonna have a countdown in the chat for all the runners to be able to see. That way they can get themselves going. But I'm ready whenever they are.
All right, looks like we're going to get a countdown soon.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, we are all set.
Ready. The runners are ready. And are we getting a countdown?
All right.
Counting down now. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Delay.
Yay, delay.
All right, and now they're off. There they go.
All right, there they go. So this is Green Grove Act 1, and welcome to Sonic 3D Blast, one of the isometric Sonic games, the other one mostly being Sonic Labyrinth, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
The main goal here in this particular category is strictly to just beat the game. We're not going to be collecting Chaos Cough Drops or Fruit Gushers or anything like that. We're just collecting 5 flickies per sector, yeeting them into that giant ring, and then moving on to the next sector of the stage.
The Cough Drops aren't really worth much anyway.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, they don't get you much. They get you a really underwhelming final fight.
Yeah, and they're not quite the same as our good friends, the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
But anyways, you've seen all three runners successfully pick up the gold shield here in Green Grove Act 1. This shield has special properties, unlike the blue shield. This shield allows you to perform a very prehistoric version of the homing attack. If you press A in the middle of another jump, in the air, you instead slam straight down if you're not near an enemy, or you home in on an enemy if there's one nearby. You don't do that to monitors or anything, which is kind of unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is.
By the way, we had 2 sub-50 times for Green Grove 1, both Rhodes and d4gr0n getting 47 and 48 respectively, which is actually really, really good for a start.
Yeah, actually, let's talk a little bit about these runners, because 3D Blast, for the most part, we've already covered exactly how this run is going to go. You grab 5 flickies per sector, yeet them, move on, rinse and repeat. So d4gr0n and Rhodes and Argick are all well up on the leaderboard, but d4gr0n is actually, I think, currently 2nd place right now, right behind Void Kura, who has the world record right now with a record of 25:39, which is absurd, and that's in real time, mind you. This is one of the Sonic games that is timed in strictly real time.
Yep.
Not RTA, sorry.
It's real time. It's real time, but it's not RTA.
Yeah.
Make no mistake.
It's real time. It's not RTA, clearly. But it's not RTA minus time bonus is what I was trying to say, and not IGT. And then Argick also runs this game pretty regularly for his Sonic 8 marathon, well, quote-unquote marathon speedruns, because they're like, it's all the 8 classic Sonic games and so on and so forth. So we got a jack of all trades here as well. And right here in our first boss fight, our goal is to get Eggman to move as little as possible with this spike ball here, and we want to make sure we try to get 2 hits per cycle. The perfect cycle is a 2-2-1 with 5 hits for the boss total, with minimal movement from the boss fight. We got a 26 on Road to Screen, which is a pretty average time.
Yeah, it looked like Rhodes got a pretty perfect fight, but
yeah,
and d4gr0n missed
one of the hits
at least one cycle. I couldn't quite tell. But...
yeah, but he got a 28, and then Argick here finishing up with a 26 as well. So here in Rusty Ruin, every zone seems to have its own kind of little gimmick. Rusty Ruin, first of all, introduces us to the wonderful green flickies, and we'll talk about flicky colors in a moment. But it also introduces these spinning tiles, which you just see Argick utilize there. This puts Sonic in a ballerina sort of upright spinning state where he can break through enemies and break through those pillars, which he can't break through normally.
Yep. Because Sonic totally can't spin on his own, by the way.
Yeah, but he's also made of rubber in the middle of this, and if you start rebounding off walls, like you'll see in Rhodes' screen right now, you can gain a lot of speed, but it's not actually really controllable or useful in a speed run, so we want to try to minimize that. Very clean section by Rhodes and d4gr0n there. That is a very long section. Argick entering it now. We're going to see if he manages to get through okay. This is a very easy section to, once you lose control, everything just goes, like, absolutely awful. Because that sector has 3 green flickies, and Tej, do you want to talk a little bit about the flicky colors?
Sure. Okay, so we have we've mentioned green flickies quite a bit, and they're the worst because they're the most random moving flickies. So basically, like every some odd frames, like their movement gets pulled. Basically, it's like they change movement a certain number of times every second, and the green flickies movement is completely random, whereas the blue and purple flickies actually in some way like wander towards Sonic, and the red ones are completely different altogether. They just kind of bounce and like mostly in place. The green flickies wander all over the place typically, and they can be really annoying because of that.
Yeah, it's really rough when you do take damage. So you can lose your flickies one of 2 ways. You can either have Sonic take damage, or you can have unshielded flickies in your trail that follows Sonic take damage through like that fire hazard or an enemy or any of the hazards here. And let's talk a little bit about enemy positions and hazards and like cycles. And you know, most of the game is camera based actually. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of obstacles like those spinning spike balls that Argick just passed that are on a global timer relative to, you know, the IGT of the stage. And incidentally, same thing with the flickies as well. Their movement patterns can be predictable if you play the stage the exact same way every time. So if you...
Which is hard.
Yeah, which is extremely difficult in this game, because this game has... The controls, while responsive and snappy, are extremely... the physics are extremely... slippery, we'll say.
Yeah, so it's basically like it's not RNG, technically, but it's basically RNG.
Yeah.
It might as well be RNG. So we just saw King Rhodes do something called the Rusty Ruin 3 Quick Kill, where you actually damage boost up on the hand before Eggman can really do anything, and you just saw d4gr0n do the same exact thing. You'll see Argick hopefully get it in a couple of seconds. But yeah, 11 is very good. 10 is possible, but very hard to get. In fact, there's a 10 frame window to get a 10 IGT, but 11 is still perfectly acceptable.
And we'll see if Argick can get this quick kill as well. He's also very good at knowing his backups. He missed the damage boost. Now, typically, I would take an intentional death here because it is faster. If you are confident that you can land the quick kill afterwards, I would take the intentional death. However, if you aren't confident, this backup is just fine. That Argick just demonstrated. And
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say, meanwhile, d4gr0n and Rhodes have entered and gone partially underway through Discount Candyland Zone, also known as Spring Stadium.
Or the McDonald's Play Place, whichever you prefer.
There are a lot of really great names for this place, and yeah, Spring, and also really, honestly, in my opinion, not the best soundtrack in the game by a long shot.
I mean, my splits say Worst Music 1 and Worst Music 2.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, I know someone mentioned that they think the Genesis does have the superior soundtrack, and they're right. But there is an alternative soundtrack to this game that is found on the Windows 1997 PC version, along with the Sega Saturn version. They share a soundtrack, and Spring Stadium Act 1 is fine, but Spring Stadium Act 2 is no, don't listen to it. Don't. Just save your ears the trouble. That said, these gentlemen are going to be picking up a gold shield here at the end of Sector 1 of Spring Stadium, too. So we're going to see Rhodes grab that right now there.
Yep, you see Rhodes backtracking for it. It's not necessarily faster to get it, but it makes the second half of this level like significantly easier, especially at the very last flicky. You'll see exactly what I mean when we come to it.
There we go. Rhodes also picked it up, and Argick is making his way out of Spring Stadium Act 1. And it's also worth noting that this stage is full of spike. You see those tiles with the 5 holes in it. If Sonic stands on them, spikes start to come up, and you can stand on it for about a frame or two before you have to start jumping and avoid damage. But they also have these other tiles that could be springs, sometimes aren't springs, usually aren't springs, and what's important in the speedrun is to know exactly which of those red circular tiles are actually active springs, because you don't want to hit certain ones and other ones you need to hit to progress. There we go, and Rhodes finishing up Act 2 of Spring Stadium, moving into the worst possible boss ever conceived in the Sonic game.
Yeah, I think this is the worst boss I've ever seen. Never mind in a Sonic game.
So this is the Baby Rage boss. He throws a tantrum every time you try to hit him. Rhodes taking damage there. Is he gonna... No, he's gonna do a backup. He's just going to try to fight this boss normally, but he didn't get any extra hits at the very beginning of the cycle, so he is doing a full 8 hits from up top. We're gonna see if d4gr0n gets it. Lining himself up. Alright, he is going for the 0 cycle, or the single cycle rather.
And he's gonna get it.
Baby, he got it.
Yeah, that makes up a lot of time on Rhodes' fight right there. He made up a good 9 seconds.
Yeah,
on Rhodes' fight.
The fastest possible IGT for that is a 17. 18 is extremely good and only held by a few people. But the 17 is only held by, I believe it's held by d4gr0n's one of them, I think. TGH here is one. Co-Empathy, another runner of this game, she actually found the 17 strat, and I believe d4gr0n, who's the world record holder of this category, also has a 17.
Yeah.
But it's just those 4 as far as I'm aware. But, so I heard you like ice physics, Jay.
So we put ice in your... Wait, we put ice physics in your ice so you can ice while you slide.
No.
So,
one of our... the taster of this game, the only kid, he actually, shoutouts to him, by the way, you should definitely take a look at the tasks of this game that he's put together. He actually once wrote in his commentary notes for my first marathon run of this game with, "Yo dog, I heard you like ice physics, so we put ice in your ice so you can slip while you slide." That's what you were looking for.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that.
But anyways, so you'll actually notice Rhodes and d4gr0n both rolling into these snowman turret enemies. These are the worst enemies in the game. Teach, can you explain why? Because I might have my rage boil over.
Okay, so you have... Yeah, we know better than to let you explain this. All right, so imagine a turret, right? The little, things that shoot, around in a circle, okay? Now imagine that those were moving, all right? Now imagine you have to kill them to get a flicky, right? All right, so that's already, bad on top of bad on top of bad. And then... imagine that the flicky is inside another ice block that you have to hit that's maybe half the size of Sonic's hitbox. And you have the worst enemy in the game by far. Oh,
and he forgot to mention that if you don't do this right, if you don't roll into these snowmen right, because they're the fast way to kill them, you can end up taking a one-hit kill regardless of the number of rings you have. Even if you have a shield, it doesn't matter. What happens, there's a few different theories going around. Some people think it's a crusher death, which it's possible. People think that Sonic gets crushed by the flicky ice block. Mm-hmm. I think that it's similar to the Sonic 1 spike glitch, where Sonic takes a hit from the snowman's projectiles, but he manages to kill the snowman on the same frame, but he also takes damage from the flicky ice block.
I think you're correct, because it only happens when he's shooting. When he's shooting projectiles. I've never seen it happen when and I think d4gr0n actually confirmed this, by the way.
I know Kid was trying to test it and he couldn't find. He found the value for what happens when Sonic takes a crush death, but cannot reproduce that value with these snowmen. So
Yeah.
I am very convinced it's not a crusher death. But yeah, we're actually moving into the best example of boss AI in the game.
Only the best.
So we have Rhodes and d4gr0n both in Diamond Dust 3. Neither of them are going for the snowman bounces, which is what was originally thought to be a TAS-only strat, has been utilized in real-time runs by d4gr0n. The only kid originally found this strat where Sonic's jump height is, a number of units tall. Let's say, I don't remember the exact numbers anymore, but let's say Sonic jumps 4 units tall, right? And that's like, let's say, 4 Sonics tall, okay? A snowman will if you bounce off the snowman at the right time, that'll push Sonic up like a 5th unit. So he's able to hit Eggman the moment he starts lowering at his highest possible point that we can hit him. And that actually saves like a few seconds during the boss fight. And both of these gentlemen getting a 50 in their boss fight.
Yeah,
this is turning into a really close race between them, and Argick is moving swiftly through Diamond Dust 2 into the final sector.
Yeah, it looks like kingrhodesTn maybe has about a 5 or so second lead over d4gr0n. Yeah, this is really tight for first place here. And Volcano Valley, as you might imagine by the name, has a lot of fire and lava. It's very hot. Yeah. Hopefully they won't get burned.
Yes, there is a fire shield that I recommend newer runners to the game pick up for safety, because the fire shield, or the red shield, protects Sonic from any form of lava, any form of fire. It doesn't protect him from enemies, but it does protect him from all fire hazards. So Sonic becomes a firebender, can walk on lava. It's great.
Yeah, there was a fire shield that was near the beginning of the act, but I don't think any of these runners are going to pick them up. These runners are too experienced.
I don't think Argick was even aware of it when he was learning this game either, because I was like, you can pick up this fire shield to be able to like get yourself through some of these stages, and he's like, there's a fire shield? But the fire shield is actually important and will be picked up in Act 2, because there's one right at the beginning, and if the runners lose that, there's no real good backup. And it's really helpful to have that flame shield to be able to get through a lot of the hazards at the end of Act 2. I'm really enjoying just watching Eggman ricochet back and forth in one corner with Argick's screen.
Yeah, that boss is definitely something.
It certainly is, but not nearly as much as something as Volcano Valley Act 3. I can't wait for that boss. So both gentlemen of Rhodes, yes. Rhodes and d4gr0n have both picked up the flame shield. We have our iPad going off the walls with Siri. Thanks a lot. I never said your name.
Yeah. Yeah. Siri wants very badly to be part of this commentary right now.
But you are seeing the importance of this fire shield as we go through. It might not be super visible on stream, but there are some fireballs that leap out of some of these fire pits, and if they catch one of them, if one of them were to catch Sonic in midair without a shield, it becomes a catastrophe. Right here especially is a catastrophe as well, as you see Rhodes and d4gr0n going through it. And what's interesting, actually, one thing to mention about Argick's screen, it looks like he doesn't... Oh, he's in Act 1, actually. Okay. But
yeah, he's in Act 1.
You'll see him using these blue platforms that you raise up using a spin dash. And not only can those crush you if you end up under one by accident as it's lowering down, but you can actually use Sonic's spin dash momentum if you're far enough on the edge to be able to jump up high onto the ledge before having to take it all the way up. Also, that's a boss up in Rhodes' screen and d4gr0n's screen. They are very, very close.
Yep, we still have kingrhodesTn with about a 4.5 second lead, but we are heading into the hardest zone in the entire game, Gene Gadget. So that could change, it could not, but these, despite these runners being very, very well suited for this situation, it's going to be you know, this act can still troll you. So.
Oh, absolutely. There's
Yeah.
there's a number of things. First off, there's turrets everywhere. There's also flickies placed near those turrets. Most of these flickies are green and red. I don't think you see a blue flicky at all in this zone.
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you see a blue flicky from here on out.
No, you do see one. You see a couple in Panic Puppet.
Okay.
In fact, one of them went out of bounds on you in Panic Puppet 1, remember? The first flicky
that was a blue
yeah.
flicky, wasn't it? Yeah, that flicky is still gone.
That flicky went on holiday and never came back. Incidentally, in this exact act, d4gr0n and I both have have had a green flicky despawn in this act, straight up despawn, because we took damage on the same frame that we grabbed it, and it just ceased to exist. And actually, Teej, do you want to review flicky colors one more time for anyone just joining us as we go into these harder levels?
Oh, you're gonna make me say it again.
Yes, I am.
Oh my god.
Verbatim.
Okay, so
you don't have to go
right.
as in depth.
So basically, you have green, blue, purple, and red. So red flickies generally just kind of bounce in place, and they are generally annoying by themselves. But then you have blue and purple flickies, which generally try to wander towards Sonic. Like they actually actively try to find Sonic.
And they're your friends.
Yeah, and green flickies are just like, they just say screw that, and they can move anywhere completely randomly. Every certain number of frames they turn like a random direction, and whereas again the blue and purple flickies will tend to turn towards Sonic on those frames, the green flickies really don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care about your feelings.
Sometimes they'll be very nice and happen to wander in your direction. Most of the time, you blink and they're on the other side of the zone.
Yep.
And also Rhodes getting through the slope of rage, as we call it, and d4gr0n also getting through very quickly.
Yeah, these runners staying very solid through Gene Gadgets 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is I was the person who taught TGH how to run this game at one point, and he asked, all right, what aisles do I learn? And I was like, you want me to be real? Learn Gene Gadget 1 and 2.
Yep, immediately. I think Gene Gadget 2 was the one you had me learn first.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was immediate, no hesitation. Gene Gadget 2. Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're getting into this game, I do recommend just playing the game a few times. It's a very new runner-friendly game, but a lot of people get very lost. It's really hard to, if you don't know the flicky locations, which we have level maps for. z4gr0n and I, shoutouts to z4gr0n, by the way, who's another runner of this game. z4gr0n and I made level maps for both best ending, which can be applied to this category as well. If you're not looking for ring routes, just follow the flicky numbers. They're roughly the correct order. And then I also highly recommend, once you're used to moving around in this game and you know where you're going for flickies, learn Gene Gadget first. It's the hardest zone in the game. When you get that out of the way, nothing else in this game is going to be nearly as difficult as that, besides Spring Stadium 3's boss. Heck that thing, by the way. Also, we're in the most interesting boss in existence.
Yes, very interesting.
You think that the final fight is bland?
Yes, I do.
I think this is more bland.
I don't know. You have to jump over things in this boss.
You have to spin dash in final fight.
Oh, wow. Oh my god, you're right. Okay, I take it all back. I take it all back. I can't believe I was so rash to say something.
I know, right?
So stupid.
Nice 115 on Rhodes' screen. And 117 on d4gr0n's. We also had a very smooth slope of rage on Argick's side as well, from what it looks like. As we move into Panic Puppet 1, this is actually the last act that we're going to see the flickies in. The canisters that they were put in, according to the lore. Ooh, nice dodge on Rhodes' screen.
Yeah,
according to the lore.
Listen to this.
Eggman ran out of time to put flickies in Badniks, and yet there are Badniks in the stage. So instead, he just shoved them into these tall containers that are annoying to hit. And honestly, I say it every time I talk about this game, if you were to replace every enemy in the game with either a snowman turret from Diamond Dust or a canister from Panic Puppet 1, oh, Rhodes giving me anxiety over here, not picking up that
That is
d4gr0n just picked it up,
that
but
is so gutsy right there.
oh man. But
you saw d4gr0n picking up the invincibility. Rhodes decided to save.
No, he never does, and it scares me every time. Like when we commentated him for SGDQ, I was aware he didn't do that, but you and d4gr0n weren't. You both went, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
I mean, that saves what, like a half a second?
Or
something like
maybe a second.
Yeah.
But like if you take a hit there, your flickies go scattering, and like it's so anxiety inducing. That's why these guys are honestly the top runners in the game. And we're also in man, we get to say this 3 times.
Yeah.
All right, everyone get ready. Get it right. It's very important. Eggman. Shoutouts to Swezy. All right. Eggman.
Number 2.
Shoutouts to Swezy again. And then when Argick gets there, we get to say it a 3rd time. Oh, Rhodes
wow.
did not get mipped. All right, that is the mandatory isometric platforming.
He saved that too.
He did.
I thought it was
over there.
Yeah, because like that platform is very easy to fall through.
Oh man, this is a really close race. Oh, d4gr0n taking damage. Pushing him a little farther away from Rhodes.
There is some time to lose on the last boss. Like there is some time that's possible to be lost.
Especially in this phase
Especially in
here.
this first phase, yeah, absolutely. This first phase where you just kind of have to stand underneath the hands and then like move out of the way of the hands like that and hit the shoulders, which whose hitboxes become active when the hands come down. But Rhodes's first phase looks very clean so far. That was very
man.
Cool. Wow, that was probably one of the best first phases I think I've ever seen, actually.
Yeah.
Like, that was really clean. d4gr0n having a good first phase as well.
The only other phase I think can really go wrong, mind you, these 2 phases that are left in this boss can still go wrong in some degree, but like, especially in 3rd phase, though it's unlikely. It's just that first phase was very, very important, and Rhodes getting it as clean as he did may have won him this race. Like, he in general has had a very, very clean run. Like, this is a really incredible run here. So you'll actually see, this is Aghanim, the phase. If you're familiar with Link to the Past or Link's Awakening or anything, Eggman becomes Aghanim and likes to shoot blue balls. We want a blue ball-less fight. Oh my goodness. Oh, also Argick is in Panic Puppet too.
Coming up on Eggman pretty soon.
Also, Rhodes is on the final hit on the boss. Time for Rhodes is going to be on the fade out. And time on Rhodes. And coming up on d4gr0n as well. Time.
d4gr0n.
And then, all right, Argick is gonna try to, oh, he got it. All right, none of them got messed up by the mipping. Seriously, King Rhodes coming in first with a very narrow lead on d4gr0n. Rhodes got a 26-14 from what it looks like, and d4gr0n with a 26-21. Argick entering the final boss of this category. Argick not very far behind at all, especially against 2 of the top 3 runners in the game. Absolutely incredible. So while we actually have a moment to talk about this boss, do you want to explain how this boss even works?
The final boss?
Yeah, this boss.
I kind of explained it already. God, I need to remember what
let's explain phases 2 and 3.
Okay, yeah, so 2 and 3. All right, so you'll see the first phase was just completed by Argick. Now, what's really weird is on the last 2 phases, both of Eggman's hitboxes on his shoulders are active when one of them becomes active. Well, even though only one of them flashes. For whatever reason, both of them are active, but in this phase, it's safer actually to just like go on the other side just because of the flame. The flame is kind of like chasing you around. And then on the 3rd phase, it's actually slower to do so by about 4 seconds for some reason.
Yeah, we don't know why. We tasked it, we don't know why it's slower by 4 seconds. You'd think it'd be faster or about the same. But no, it is a very new runner-friendly strat. I think Argick's gonna demonstrate it here for us.
Yep,
this was actually found in a casual playthrough by the Bailey Renee. Shoutouts to her. This is hilarious, and TGH and I run 2 players, 1 controller for this. We always do this strategy, unless we're on like PB pace, because it's 1, funny to show, and B, hilarious to have one half of the controller just doing it.
Take their hand off the controller completely. It's like, yay, I'm beating the boss by myself.
Yeah, look, Ma, 1 hand. All right, Argick on his last hit on this final boss here. And come on, time. 28:39, not a bad time at all.
Yeah, very good race from these runners.
That was incredible. GG's to all 3 runners. What an incredible race. And it does say try again because they didn't collect any of the Chaos Cough drops. But definitely want to give a shout out again to kingrhodesTn, and Argick. Rhodes messaged me like earlier, like at like 2 in the morning, saying, "Hey, can you do commentary for this race?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" I didn't even realize it was happening.
It was fun though. Glad to have been a part of it.
Oh yeah, thank you so much for inviting us to do commentary. It was great to be here. And yeah, give all 3 of these gentlemen a follow. They are awesome. They all run various things. d4gr0n runs a bunch of different retro games. Argick runs a ton of Sonic stuff. You have already seen him 2 other times in this marathon with Spinball and again with Mania. And he's going to join, I believe he's going to be joining for the Sonic 2 commentary. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I know he was asked for it. So there's more Argick to go around, and definitely hang around for the rest of the Sonic block and for the rest of the marathon too. What do we have coming up next? Is it Sonic 2 already? Oh, it is Sonic 1 first by Supersonic 71087. He's also going to be in the Sonic 2 race. Definitely give those gentlemen your attention because they're awesome. I'm going to switch it on over to the retro gaming staff to be able to get that all set up.